Okay, so we've now got the roughs in place. I normally draw on a board or my drawing table, but I actually put this masonite on here to maybe make this look a little bit better in the camera. Dark background seems to help a little bit. So I've got the rough here, and I'm all ready to go. And I've got my copies of the Legion Archives to make sure I have the costumes right. Even though I know the characters pretty well, I will still look to see what we've got as far as their costumes go. So I'm going to start with Karate Kid and start getting his basic looks down. I always say basic. I'm always referring to basic, but structure is what I'm really talking about here. You don't really want to go in too much before you have everything down, otherwise you end up changing, you end up finding problems as you go along. You've already kind of done the drawing and you got to start all over again. And again, like I said, it's a good example of how I work on commissions at home. So spend a lot more time on them. Sometimes half the battle is just thinking about them and thinking about what I want to do and how I'm going to approach it. So that can be, and the mental part of it's a big part. Got to be able to see it in your head, really. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of building up the structure from my rough pencil. I said not to make Karate Kid or Timberwolf look all fierce or anything, because yeah, they're sparring, you know, and I've done a little bit of sparring before, and even though sometimes you actually you're having fun, and so these two guys are buddies. I figure if anything, you're going to get a kick out of whatever the other person does. Even if the other person manages to smack them pretty good, it's going to be a funny thing. Because nothing's funnier than getting smacked, I guess. And no, I'm not advocating violence. I'm not sure about that arm, but we're working on it. Always make sure you got the right amount of fingers. There was a hilarious cover a while back on a book where the artist actually put 5 fingers and a thumb. It's amazing how what can get past editorial. I know you didn't do it on purpose. It was just something, a little bit of an oversight, and missed it. I've never been one for the characters that have like skirt type bottoms to their tops, you know, like Doc Doom or in this case Karate Kid with his top. I can't remember what they call that, but never seems to look right to me when I draw it. It's fine when I see other people draw it. Everything looks fine. I look at it and go, oh yeah, that's how I should do it. Then I do it and it doesn't look right. I could trace off somebody else's drawing and it probably still wouldn't look right to me. But it looks fine when they drew it. But anywho. If you hear squeaky noises, I've got a little English bulldog in here that's got her little squeaky toy, and she may start squeaking at any time. Now, I had a bit of an interesting situation with Karate Kid. I always thought it was Mike Grell that only drew the costume with the Elvis collar on it, the high collar, but actually Dave Cockrum drew it first, and I'm guessing designed it. And it was actually only in 1 or 2 panels. One there, and then of course there's a back shot. But that's the only time you ever saw this costume, and then by the next issue, or the next time you saw Karate Kid, he was back in the standard karate outfit. It wasn't until later that Mike Grell actually started drawing the character, and one of the issues had him put him in the this outfit. So, as much as I think I know about the Legion, every so often I find something I didn't realize or forgot about. But I'm going back to the Cockrum version. It's just a little bit different than what Grell did. Grell made that collar up a little bit higher. And I just don't think that a guy that's using martial arts is going to want his peripheral vision messed up by a really high collar. Ah, the squeaking starts. Now, even though all of this area is pretty much going to be black, I'm still going to work the details out of the figure. One of the things people say, oh, when you spot so much black, you don't have to worry, you don't have to draw as much. Actually, my feeling is you got to draw just as much, if not more, because you got to actually figure out the planes of the body, the shapes and the edges and everything. So you got to know where to put those shadows. There'll be breaks in this because YouTube wants only 10-minute uploads. So we're going to take a break in just 1 second and start up again with part 3. And I'm going to try and do all of this as a all the way through inking. Some people were disappointed that I didn't finish inking Brian's Batman Ra's al Ghul piece. But this is still a learning process. Yep, there's the alarm, 10 minutes. Or 9 minutes actually. But I wanted to give myself a little buffer. Okay, we'll continue on in just a moment.